Are you a professional woman who wants to create passive income streams and financial freedom through real estate investing? Join us here on Real Estate Investor Goddesses, hosted by Monick Halm. Listen to women who are rocking it in real estate investments as they share their stories of success, failures, and best advice in real estate investing. Start creating real wealth through real estate. Tune in today. Here's your host, real estate investor, syndicator, and developer, Monick Halm.
Welcome to the Real Estate Investor Goddesses podcast. I'm your host, Monick Halm. On this show, I interview amazing real estate investing goddesses, women that are crushing it in the real estate investing space. And I am super excited to have with me today Gita Faust, who is the owner of Fast Trac Consulting. It's a business process and software consulting firm that grasps difficult real estate and property management accounting concepts and turns a mess of numbers into comprehensive financials so that they can efficiently increase cash flow and streamline their workflow. She is an investor herself, but she helps other investors and other people in the real estate world get their money handled, because that takes a lot of time, and a lot of us, that's not our forte. She's a Quickbooks solutions provider, Intuit speaker, and author of Quickbooks for Real Estate and Property Management series of DIYers. Her team also offers several QuickBooks-oriented services, including bookkeeping, programming, integration, data conversion, training support, and more. And I'm super excited to have her with us. Welcome.
Thank you, Monick. I am glad to be here.
Glad to have you. So you do all of this with numbers, and we'll ask questions about that in a little bit, but I want to ask you about your real estate investing. How did you get started in real estate investing?
Well, the first property turned out to be a very simple solution. We had to move to a neighborhood where there were more kids around for my son, as he was the only child. So we had to move to a neighborhood where it was easy for him to go and play and have kids around the neighborhood where he could just walk when he was young. So it was an easy decision for us to just rent our first house and then move into another one. So that was the best decision ever we made. And then it just escalated from there on. So we are mainly into single family homes, and we enjoy it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
A lot of people get started that way, and it's a great strategy. Just, I had a home, I'm going to buy a new home, and we keep the old home, rent it out, right? And so it keeps making me money, and it's, gaining an equity, and that's such a wonderful strategy.
It is a great experience. It's a great experience, because you don't have those sweaty palms, when you're buying a new property just for rental. You don't know what is going to happen.
Yeah.
Right. But this property that you already own, and you already know your expenses. So for somebody who has that opportunity, it's a perfect way to get started as well.
Yeah, it's a great strategy. And so you continued on. So tell us a little bit more about where you are now with your real estate investing.
So we are in Bucks County. That's greater Philadelphia area. And it's all over in the county. We have approximately 20 or 30 properties. And we're doing good, but we're adding on slowly and cautiously. But in today's market, it's not that the properties don't cash flow as much.
Yeah.
So we are shying away and slowed down a little bit.
Invest when the numbers make sense. And when the numbers make sense. They don't make sense. And you are all about numbers.
Yeah.
And so tell me, how did you get into this, your company now, Fast Trac Consulting, and helping investors and others with their finances in this arena?
Right. So it's a long story, but we'll make it very short and sweet. So I was working for a manufacturing company, and I got into an accident. It took me 5 years to recover, and I had to make a decision. Either I go on my own, do something that I love, my passion, or I go work for 40 hours, which was not going to happen because of health. So my passions were sewing and alterations and accounting. So I'm a graduate in accounting as well. So that was inherited from ninth grade onwards for us in education wise. So it was an easy transition. And the sewing was, since we were little kids, my parents taught me how to sew, all our sisters, siblings. So it was an easy transition. So the decision was, what do I do? So when we did sewing, it was threads all around the room. And I had to vacuum every day, and that was it. I'm like, okay, this is not helping. It's helping others, but I'm not, it's too much cleanup afterwards, even though after you work. So I decided I as well help clients clean up their books and make sense of their numbers, which was much more satisfying because you guys got the aha moment, right? You knew what your assets were, what your worth was, what your wealth was, what your secured loan, unsecured loan, secondary loans, primary loans, you knew what it was. When you see it in black and white, you can really tell that, yes. And once I saw that happiness in the client, on my client's face, and they were like, so stress free, and they could concentrate more on their business, growing it and acquiring more wealth. And that was it. I'm like, okay, this is what I am going to do, and I think this is what I was born to do. So here I am.
I love it. And it's so helpful, right? Because, if you don't have clear numbers, it's like trying to fly a plane without the dashboard, without the instruments and in the fog. So those clear numbers really help you know what you should do, what you shouldn't do. So,
Exactly.
um, what are some tips that you have for investors around their numbers and what are some tips about what they should do?
So let me see if I can get few basic ones in, which even everybody must have heard, but it's very important to reiterate them and hit it back on everybody's head, including mine. I'm at fault too. So first, if you are an LLC and you're running your business, so real estate is a business.
Yes, it
Don't
is.
take it as a hobby, even if you have one property. It is a business. If you're using your social security number, stop right there. Go to the IRS website, get a EIN number, that is employer identification number, that is free at no charge, and you can do it online. So what happens, you're not giving everybody your social security number because of the security reasons. You want to keep it private. Of course, in some instances you have to give your SS number, and that is okay. Okay, so make sure you go to the IRS website and get your EIN number.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Fine business, like keep the entity separate from the personal.
Right.
Yeah, as a
Yeah.
also as a lawyer, former lawyer, there are reasons you want to do that too. So it's not just for the your financial mess, for legal liability. Keep them separate.
Keep them separate. Right. The second one is, of course, you've heard of co-mingling funds, business and personal. Okay, we all know that. But let's go a step ahead. Say, suppose, like I said, we own 20 so properties, right? So if you have the property under one LLC, all 20 properties. Now, I'm not giving any legal advice or accounting advice or tax strategies here, but I'm just talking general on the books. Do not create 20 bank accounts, please. One EIN, keep 2 or 3 bank accounts. Don't create a bank account for each property. That is a nightmare for the person who's doing the books and the person who is spending the money. All right. So make sure you just have few. Each EIN number should have only a couple bank accounts, 2, 3, 4 at the max. Don't go crazy because it takes time and resources. It doesn't matter yours or anybody else's, right?
Yeah.
One more I have is You account for each and every penny. You account for each and every penny that even does not touch your bank account. You mean like, Gita, what the heck are you talking about, right? So here are a couple instances. Construction loans. So if you have construction loans and they distribute the money to you, they sometimes deduct $125, $150 before they give the money to you. They may either have an inspection fee or any other fees they may have. Account for that little $125 in your books because that's an expense, right? Now it depends on whether it was a flip property or rental property, right? It's different. The other thing, when you close on your property, what we found was we saved 500,000 over a period of 5 years. We literally got 500,000 back for a couple clients. Why? Because we were analyzing and reading all the closing documents. When you go to closing, they hold deposits. It's either lender deposit or sewer deposit or whatever craziness you guys, we all make deals. I should not say you guys, but we all make crazy deals. And because of those crazy deals, that money is just sitting there and that you forget over the period of time. So this one client we have, they said, we made a profit of 100,000 on one property. They flip 50 properties every month. So we are the outsourced accounting department, totally. And I said, it's not possible. So he's saying, well, it is. I said, well, if you look at your balance sheet on a regular basis, which you have access to for that specific property, you can see that 100,000 is sitting there as a deposit, which was on your HUD. I say, oh yeah, I remember that. Now they remember. But if you are constantly reading your balance sheet and profit and loss, you know where your numbers are. And it should be by property.
Yeah.
Right. Now, if you have multiple LLCs, that is multiple EIN numbers, right? You should consolidate all your financials so you see what your equity is as a whole. Hopefully that makes sense, right?
It does, yeah.
So those are a few handful of tips that I have to share today.
That's all really helpful. And it is good to just be able to see things together so you just know where you are as as a whole. Let me ask you a question. What was your biggest mistake with your real estate investing and what did you learn from it?
Oh my God, did I make mistakes? Oh my God, the list is so long, right?
Pick your favorite. Anyone who's been in real estate long enough, you have a list. So.
Yeah. So I am so bad that when I love a property that I really want, I really bid high. Right?
You get into your heart versus
yeah. So do not be emotional. That's why I have to take my husband along with me so I don't get that tied in and emotionally invested in there. So it keeps me at bay. So do not make a decision on emotion. Oh, I love this kitchen, or I love the lighting, coming in the house, or I love the French doors, it's crazy that I've made that mistake 2 or 3 times, and I could have easily saved around 10,000 approximately on one property. But hey, still counting on my mistakes. I have plenty of those.
So that's a good lesson. So the lesson is bring somebody with a cooler head, maybe along in your case, but to really or to really have the budget, know where, this is what I need to be at in order to make the money I need to make. And if it doesn't It's not that number, no matter how beautiful that house is. It's not my property.
And exactly. And you're talking about budget, right? So if you have your finances in order, right? And you can see your numbers by property. If you're going to see another property, it's very easily you can remember what you spent on the other property, and that's the amount you're going to spend on this property, and calculate and see where you're going to cash flow as well. So keeping those numbers by property is very important, because Excel sheet does not cut it out. You cannot get a balance sheet on Excel sheet unless you are really so meticulous on getting each and every penny recorded the right way. And with the click of a button, you can view your report.
Yeah, with QuickBooks.
Yeah.
What's the biggest mistake you think people make with their finances when they're doing?
Oh my God,
for
I
real estate
already
investors?
mentioned a couple of them, right?
Yeah.
So not knowing what they owe, because cash flow can be viewed three ways. One on cash basis, that is money coming in and money going out right away. Like you're going to McDonald's or Starbucks, paying money right away. That is cash, right? Second is accrual basis. So what money you owe at a later time, and what money you're going to receive at a later time, right? And the third one is hybrid. So many of them enter their loans on the balance sheet, but they do not enter what they owe on the other bills, like electric bills or, tax bills in advance, right? So that's a hybrid. So that is the biggest mistake. So when somebody goes to look at cash flow, saying, okay, we want to see cash flow, it's only on cash basis mostly they're looking. But when you're running a business,
Accrual.
you need to look at accrual as well. And that's the biggest mistake everybody makes.
That's what I've been learning, and that's a recent change that I made in my fund. Because it was all cash basis. It's just like, okay, money in, money out. This is the cash, and it's and it's not crazy, because for your taxes, right? Like taxes is really based off of the cash, right? So cash in, cash out,
right?
But to really understand and have optics on your business, the accrual basis. And if you're listening to this and this feels like a bit over your head, then you can then definitely, it's like, you're like, what's accrual, what's cash basis? It is important to understand it, but it's important to have somebody like Gita there to help you if you don't know that. But because those are things that as a business owner, and if you are a real estate investor, you are a business owner.
It's true.
Those are important things that you need to be able to see and understand. So what are you most proud of?
Oh my God, being here, that's the first thing. With Monick, you're sharing and empowering women to be good at what they do, and, take it at heart. And it's sometimes a struggle, but keep on going, you can make it. When I started my business, I had no idea where I would be today. I have spoken at Intuit's website conferences, QuickBooks conferences. I have spoken at real estate. We also do software development. We have created an app for importing Home Depot purchases into QuickBooks. Oh. The app is called Hammerzen. The sky is the limit, which still I have not reached the sky yet, but I have so many things to brag. Oh, I have authored books on how to use QuickBooks, which you already mentioned, for the real estate segmentation. I mean, if I had not been in real estate, I don't know where I would be. So it is friends like you, connections I make via you or any other person, my network and I've built my business not only on my ability as well, but my clients as well, because they make these crazy deals, which help me make my own crazy deals and expand my knowledge in accounting and how to show the numbers to them that makes sense.
I love it. And to what do you attribute your success?
My clients, my husband, who's supportive. If I want to sleep all day, he'll let me sleep all day, not even knock on the door. Having the support I need at home is great.
That is so important. Uh, and what advice do you have for a woman who's just starting out in real estate investing?
It is not easy. But when you get your first deal and the second deal you make, it is priceless. You feel that, yes, you have made it, right? It's a journey we all walk through, whether you're in real estate or any other business, till you make that first, second sale, and then making sure you're consistent and diligent on doing what you're doing. So if you cannot do something, delegate. We all have delegated. I'm not talking only about accounting, but everything in your business. Farm it out. You do what you do best and farm out the work. Delegate, hire, and fire as quickly as you can if they don't work out.
Yeah. Slow to hire, quick to fire.
Yes.
Yeah. And what do you wish you'd known at the beginning that you now know?
When we were kids, we were handed everything, A to Z. Our college, our cars, if we had one. I had a moped though at that point. My parents gave it to me. So, everything. We didn't have to worry about anything. We had maids. We had it easy till I
How
came to
lucky for you.
US. Well, wait a second. Till I came to US, I realized it is not as easy as it is. It was at your parents' home, So it's a journey, like I said. The difficulties were there, but we can all overcome the difficulties, which I did as well. So it is a journey that you just have to change your mindset and accept it and make the best of it and leave the barnacles out of your life and keep the good parts and move forward. If something does not work out, make sure you know why it did not work out and make sure you don't make the same mistake again.
Yeah.
Like me putting those $10,000 bidding more on that property.
Beautiful. Before we get to our famed end of show Trinity, which is a brag, a gratitude, and a desire, tell people how they can reach out and connect with you or find out more about what you do.
You can always reach me at 215-579-1465. And my website is fasttracconsulting.com without a K. So it's 2 T's, 2 C's. So that's why I gave the phone number. It's easy, 215-579-1465. You can Google the phone number and you'll definitely find my website or just type in my name and I'll be right there.
Perfect. Okay, time for our Trinity. What are you celebrating right now? What is your brag?
My son's birthday today, April 2nd. He's 26 years old.
Happy Labor Day to you, Mama.
Okay, that was on a side note.
And well bragged. You helped him live successfully to 26 years, so good for you.
That's true.
What are you grateful for?
I'm grateful for the people I know that have come into my life. I'm grateful for my husband who's been there for good and bad times also. And he's the best thing ever invented. He's a God's man. I mean, literally a God's man. So I can brag about him. I'm proud of him. I'm everything.
Oh, I love that. This is beautiful. And last but certainly not least, what's one desire you have?
Oh my God. Make more connections, network, get to know more people, share what I have learned with real estate investors and businesses. And if I can just share one or two things they take out of this podcast and learn, that would be so fulfilling when I hear from them, hey, I did this and it did work, right? Or, hey, thanks for the advice. I got it, right? That's what it is about. That's why we are here to share, right? It's not only about you and me, talking about ourselves, but also sharing our knowledge.
Beautiful. So shall your desire be, or so much better than you can imagine, under grace and in perfect ways.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Gita, for coming and sharing your wisdom and your awesome tips. Y'all, you can connect with her at fasttracconsulting.com or 215-579-1465. And you can connect with me at Real Estate Investor Goddesses. Go to reigoddesses.com, or we're at REI Goddesses on most of the socials. There you can find out about our investing mentorship and our investing club, and just join our community of incredible women from all around the world that are in sisterhood together in real estate investing. Definitely, if you love this podcast, please share it or subscribe, and come back next week for another amazing Real Estate Investor Goddesses podcast. Bye-bye.
You have just listened to another episode of Real Estate Investor Goddesses, a show dedicated to sharing stories of women creating real wealth through real estate. If you found value on what you just heard, feel free to share with your friends. Visit us at reigoddesses.com to learn more about our programs and live events, as well as to access other resources. Until next time.